ready, and since this meeting is virtual as well as in person, it really would be a good idea if everyone turned on their microphones. We would appreciate that. And so I'll order the meeting of the Greenwood Common Council on Monday, January the 4th, 2021. And we'll start with the pledge of the flag. So let's stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us pray. Dear God, we do thank you for this new year, Lord, for the opportunity that we have to serve the citizens of Greenwood. God, I just pray that you'll watch over our meeting this evening. Pray that you give us wisdom and direction. But we do pray for our first responders, that you would just keep them safe. We thank you for our mayor. Pray, Lord, that you would just watch over him and give him wisdom as he directs our city. Lord, help us tonight to do the things that are right and best for our city. We pray this in Christ's name. Amen. Thank you. Roll call.
Bates.
Present.
Campbell.
Here.
John.
Here.
Gibson. Here. Hill.
Here.
Hopper.
Here.
Lexi.
Here.
Pendleton.
Here.
And Williams.
Here.
We have a quorum. All of you should have received copies of the minutes from our regular meeting of December the 21st, 2020. Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Bates. Second. Second by Mr. Lexi. Any additions, deletions, or corrections? Discussion? Hearing none, then roll call on the minutes.
Bates.
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
Dine.
Aye.
Gibson. Aye. Hill.
Aye.
Hopper.
Aye.
Lexi.
Aye.
Pendleton.
Say.
And Williams.
Aye.
The minutes are approved on a vote of 8-0 with one abstention. Reports, Corporation Council.
You should all have received the item semi-monthly. There was no litigation report. We just did the year-end report to you. So if there are questions about the item report, please contact me. I'll be glad to answer them.
All right. Anything from the controller at this time?
Nothing at this time.
All right. Any other committee or board reports? All right. Hearing none and moving on. This is the opportunity we set aside for members of the audience to address the council concerning items that are on the agenda. There is a 5-minute time limit for individuals. So if you're here listening tonight, would like to address the council about something on the agenda, please speak up, state your name and address for the record. We'll wait just a moment. All right, hearing none. Ordinances and resolutions. Now, sent all of you an email. I hope that you got it. There is a walk-on ordinance, ordinance 2101. We need a motion to walk that on. Motion by Mr. Williams, Bates, second by Ms. Gibson. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, then roll call on the motion to walk on ordinance 2101.
Bates.
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
Dine.
Aye.
Gibson. Aye. Hill. Hopper.
Aye.
Lexi.
Aye.
Pendleton.
Aye.
And Williams.
Aye.
Ordinance 2101 is placed on the agenda under introduction of new ordinances and resolutions. We'll get to that later. First reading, ordinance 2046.
An ordinance vacating a portion of platted ingress-egress easement located within Lot 3C, Block 3, replat Block 3A, President South Business Center, Section 1, sponsored by Campbell.
We have a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Dine, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Williams. This is scheduled for a public hearing tonight, so we'll open it up for a public hearing. And if you are here tonight and wish to speak for or against ordinance 2046, please speak up. This is your opportunity. State your name and address for the record. All right, hearing none, close the public hearing. Any discussion on the council? Hearing none, the roll call, ordinance 2046, first reading.
Bates.
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
Stein.
Aye.
Gibson. Aye. Hill. Hopper.
Aye.
Lexi.
Aye.
Pendleton.
Aye.
And Williams.
Aye.
Ordinance 2046 passes first reading 9-0. Ordinance 2050.
An ordinance amending Greenwood Municipal Code, Section 9106 and 9113, to revise the schedules of rates and charges to be collected by the city of Greenwood, Indiana, from the owners and occupiers of property served by the sewage works of the city, sponsored by Campbell.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Williams, second by Mr. Lexi. Any discussion on the council regarding ordinance 2050? Is there anything anybody from the city would like to say?
Mr. President, this is Greg Wright, Controller. I did want to let the council members know there is a mailer going out this week to all of our customers, informing them about the public hearing at your next meeting. There is a requirement legally that it go out to outside the city customers. We did expand it to all customers so that they are aware of it.
All right, thank you. Any questions? Right, yes, Mr. Bates.
Well, it's more of a procedural, when we have a public hearing, and maybe that's, we can't tell for sure, would be in person here, council chambers, or does someone who would like to speak to it have to do it virtually? Or do we know?
I believe the public hearing will be conducted just like we did the last one. The counselors will be here, and the public will be online.
Thank you.
Mr. President, this is the mayor. May I speak, please?
Go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
I again would just like to reiterate the fact that this is not something that the administration wants to do. It is something that we have to do. When Citizens Energy came to us 3 years ago with a request for an automatic 500% increase, we did fight that. We mitigated it out to a 250% increase. This is the first step in a 5-year program. It's very harsh. It is nothing we want to do, but at the end of the day, we realize that to be fiscally responsible for the city and to be able to maintain our our bond ratings and our financial status, and to remain financially stable, this is unfortunately the only thing that we can propose that will do that for the city.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Any discussion on the council? Any questions? Hearing none, then roll call, ordinance 2050, first reading.
Campbell.
Aye.
Johnny.
Aye.
Gibson. Aye. Hill. Hopper.
Aye.
Lexi.
Aye.
Pendleton.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
And Bates.
Ordinance 2050 passes first reading 9-0. Second reading, ordinance 2042.
An ordinance amending Greenwood Municipal Code 1993, Chapter 2, Article 8, Section 282, qualified retired employees and spouses group health insurance to better utilize disability benefits, sponsored by Campbell.
A motion. Motion by Mr. Dine, second. Second by Ms. Gibson. Any discussion, ordinance 2042?
I do have a suggested amendment. The dates for passage and adoption have it as 2020. If you would agree to amend that to 2021, so we can just, if you adopt this and pass it, we can cross through and write 21 in.
All right, we have a motion to do that by Ms. Gibson, second by Mr. Williams. Any discussion on ordinance 2042 as amended? Hearing none, then roll call on the amendment to ordinance 2042.
Johnny.
Aye.
Gibson. Aye. Hill.
Aye.
Hopper.
Aye.
Lexi.
Aye.
Pendleton. Williams.
Aye.
Bates.
Aye.
And Campbell.
Aye. Ordinance 2042 is amended. We'll go to 9-0. Any discussion? Ordinance 2042 as amended. Hearing none, then roll call. Ordinance 2042 as amended. Second reading.
Gibson. Aye. Hill. Hopper. Lexi. Pendleton.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Bates.
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
And Dunn.
Ordinance 2042 as amended passes second reading 9-0. Ordinance 2043.
An ordinance to amend the text of Greenwood Municipal Code, Chapter 8, Traffic and Parking Regulations, Article 2, to amend Section 8-8, prohibiting truck traffic on certain streets to include portions of Allen Road and Griffith Road, sponsored by Williams.
Have a motion by Mr. Williams, a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Bates.
We
Any
have,
discussion? Ordinance 2043.
so we have the same issue with this one. When it was drafted and introduced, it has 2020 as the passage and adoption dates that will need to be amended and changed.
All right, we have a motion to do that. Make a motion by Mr. Lexi, second by Mr. Bates. Any discussion on that amendment? Hearing none, in roll call on the amendment of ordinance 2043.
Hill. Hopper. Lexi. Pendleton. Williams.
Aye.
Bates.
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
Dunn.
Aye.
Gibson.
Ordinance 2043 is amended on a vote of 9-0. Any discussion on ordinance 2043 as amended? Hearing none, then roll call. Ordinance 2043 as amended, second reading.
Hopper. Lexi. Pendleton.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Bates.
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
Dunn. Gibson. And Hill.
Ordinance 2043 is amended, passes second reading 9-0. Resolution 2026.
A resolution of the Common Council of the City of Greenwood, Johnson County, Indiana, approving and consenting to the sale and assignment of the City of Greenwood, Indiana Economic Development Subordinate Tax Increment Revenue Bonds of 2019, Series A, Echelon Project, sponsored by Hopper.
Have a motion by Mr. Hopper, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Bates. Any discussion on resolution 2026? Hearing none, then roll call, resolution 2026, second reading.
Lexi. Pendleton.
Nay.
Williams.
Nay.
Bates.
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
Dunn. Gibson. Hill. Hopper.
All right, resolution 2026 passes second reading, a vote of 7-2. Ordinance 2047.
An ordinance amending the 2021 salary ordinance, Common Council Ordinance Number 2031, to increase the number of probationary lateral transfer patrolman positions and decrease the number of probationary patrolman positions in the police department, sponsored by Dime.
Have a motion? Motion by Ms. Gibson, second by Mr. Dine. Oh, yes.
Through misspelling of the chapter, the rule, the second instance is supposed to say position.
Ms. Coons, did you hear that?
No, I can't hear. I'm sorry.
Okay, there was a,
In the chapter that you read,
there's a misspelling in the caption.
the second
Oh, okay. Well, if you'd like to amend the caption. What is it?
Do we need to, or can we just correct that?
it's the second instance of position.
I'm looking at 2047.
It's the actual ordinance.
No, I don't recommend it. It says the patrolman post.
I can correct it.
I mean, we're correcting dates on the job. It's on-
Because you're on second reading, so if you want to correct it, I would amend it to correct the caption, and then if
Does it need
All
to
right,
be?
we'll have a motion by Mr. Lexi to correct the misspelling in the caption. A second by Mr. Bates. Any discussion on that amendment? Hearing none, then roll call on the amendment to ordinance 2047.
Pendleton.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Bates.
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
Dunn.
Aye.
Gibson. Hill.
ordinance 2047 is amended on a vote of 9-0. Any discussion on ordinance 2047 as amended? Hearing none, then roll call. Ordinance 2047 as amended, second reading.
Williams,
Aye.
Bates,
Aye.
Campbell,
Aye.
Stein,
Aye.
Gibson, Hill, Hopper,
Aye.
Lexi,
Aye.
and Pendleton.
Ordinance 2047 passes second reading as amended. Vote of 9-0. To ordinance 2048.
An ordinance amending Greenwood Municipal Code 1993 as amended Chapter 7, Building and Construction Regulations, Article 3, Miscellaneous Regulations, Section 745, to update permit fee schedule and performance security requirements, sponsored by Gibson.
We have a motion by Ms. Gibson, second. Second by Mr. Dine. Any discussion on ordinance 2048? Hearing none, then roll call. Ordinance 2048, second reading.
Bates,
Aye.
Campbell,
Aye.
Stein, Gibson, Hill, Hopper,
Aye.
Lexi, Pendleton, and Williams.
Aye.
Ordinance 2048 passes second reading on the vote of 9-0. Resolution 2101.
A resolution confirming Resolution 2025, the declaration of a certain area within the city of Greenwood an economic revitalization area and qualifying certain real property improvements for property tax abatement and setting the time and place for a public hearing. LLSC Properties LLC, sponsored by Bates.
Do I have a motion? Motion, Mr. Hopper, second. By Mr. Dine. This is a public hearing, so we'll open it up to the public for a public hearing. If you are online tonight and wish to speak for or against Resolution 2101, please speak up, state your name and address for the record.
Was that Bates and Stein?
Yes, Hopper. All right, hearing none, then we'll close the public hearing. Any discussion on the council on Resolution 2101? All right, hearing none, then roll call, Resolution 2101.
Campbell,
Aye.
Stein, Gibson, Hill, Hopper, Lexi, Pendleton, Williams,
Aye.
Bates.
Aye.
Resolution 2101 passes on the vote of 9-0. There we are. A walk on ordinance 2101.
An ordinance amending Greenwood Municipal Code 1993, Chapter 2, Article 8, Section 269, Paid Time Off Policy, and Section 272, Family and Medical Leave, to extend federal emergency paid sick leave and emergency family and medical leave provisions related to COVID-19, sponsored by Mr. Campbell.
This is under introduction, new business introduction before this resolution. Is Ms. Best here? I believe that's here.
Yes, I am here.
All right, would you like to talk to us about this one and why we need to suspend the rules?
Yes, that would be perfectly fine. I thank you very much. So the Families First Coronavirus Relief Act was put into place April 1st of 2020. And that provided for employers to mandatorily provide emergency paid sick leave and emergency FMLA leave, which expires December 31st of 2020. As of right now, they have not mandated a further utilization of these benefits. However, we can voluntarily go ahead and offer these benefits up until March 31st of 2021. With that being said, anybody who has not exhausted their benefits of emergency paid sick leave or EFMLA due to a school closure or a care provider not being available, would be eligible to continue to utilize these benefits as so long as they qualify. I spoke with the mayor with respect to this. We are kind of in a heightened situation with COVID. And so when we discussed this, the decision was made to ask for this to be extended for city employees through January 31st of 2021. Right now, there's been no real guidance as far as it being mandatorily done. Like I stated, we want to voluntarily do this. There is a discussion of tax credits for voluntarily continuing these benefits. So we would at least like to get through January of 2021 for those who have not utilized the benefits, if they do qualify and do need these benefits. And the reason why we're asking for suspension of the rules is January 3rd of 2021 was the end of this pay period, this previous pay period. And we need to have all of our payroll done and submitted and approved. I do audit all the timesheets and documents for special leaves for our payroll personnel. And with that, if we were to decide to suspend the rules through the second reading, we would go ahead and be able to pay our employees, those that have missed work that were on a shift rotation, particularly, or at the community center from January 1, 2, or 3, which is part of this payroll. And we could pay them in this paycheck for January 8 instead of making them wait multiple times and then having to reprocess their payroll and back pay them their pay.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Ms. Best? All right, we have a motion by Ms. Gibson for suspension of the rules to first reading. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Williams. Any discussion on suspension? Hearing none, then roll call on suspension of the rules to first reading of ordinance 2101.
Stein. Aye. Gibson. Aye. Hill. Hopper.
Aye.
Lexi.
Aye.
Pendleton.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Bates.
Aye.
And Cameron.
Aye. Ordinance 2101, rules are suspended through first reading. Now, a motion on first reading by Ms. Gibson, second by Mr. Williams. Any discussion? Ordinance 2101. Hearing none, then roll call. Ordinance 2101, first reading.
Gibson. Aye. Hill.
Aye.
Hopper.
Aye.
Lexi.
Aye.
Pendleton.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Bates.
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
And Stein.
Ordinance 2101 passes first reading 9-0. Motion on suspension for second reading by Ms. Gibson, second by Mr. Williams. Any discussion? Roll call on suspension of the rules through second reading of ordinance 2101.
Hill. Hopper.
Aye.
Lexi.
Aye.
Pendleton.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Bates.
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
Stein. And Gibson. Aye.
Ordinance 2101, the rules are suspended through second reading. Motion on second reading by Ms. Gibson, second by Mr. Bates. Any discussion? Ordinance 2101. Hearing none, then roll call. Ordinance 2101, second reading.
Hopper.
Aye.
Lexi.
Aye.
Pendleton.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Bates.
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
Stein.
Aye.
Gibson. Aye. And Hill.
Ordinance 2101 passes second reading on a vote of 9-0. Thank you, Ms. Best.
Thank you.
All right. Miscellaneous business. This is the second opportunity for members of the audience to address the council. However, this time it's about items that are not on the agenda. So if you'd like to speak to the council tonight, please speak up. Again, there's a 5-minute time limit. State your name and address for the record. Wait just a second, I thought we might have somebody. Hearing none, then moving on, council, miscellaneous business. We have some appointments to make tonight. And I'm going to take them in order as they appear on the sheet that I sent out to all of you. So the first one is the Greenwood Plan Commission. Our current appointee is Mr. Dine. Has to be someone from the council, and it's a one-year appointment, and he has expressed an interest to continue in that position. So, all right, we have a nomination by Mr. Williams, second by Ms. Gibson, that Mr. Dine continue in that position. Any other nominations? Hearing none, we'll close the nominations and just take a voice vote. All in favor of Mr. Dine, please say aye. Aye. All opposed by the like sign? Hearing none, then Mr. Dine, thank you very much. The reappointed will vote 9-0. The Greenwood Redevelopment Commission, or the RDC, council has two of our own on the RDC. It's always a one-year term, Mr. Hopper and myself. I know we both, all the things that I do, I like the RDC and what they do. And I think, as we've learned in the past, it's important to have council members on that, even though they do not have to, but I chose to do that. So I'm opening up for nominations for the RDC. I'll nominate Mr. Hopper. I have nomination of Mr. Hopper, by Mr. Lexi. I'll nominate Mike Campbell. And Mr. Williams nominates Mike Campbell. I can't refer to myself as the third person. But anyway, just for the record, I'll use my name. Any other nominations? Hearing none, then we'll close the nominations, and all in favor of Mr. Hopper and myself continuing on the RDC, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Mr. Hopper and I are reappointed on the vote of 9-0. Thank you. Johnson County Solid Waste District Management Board. Mr. Lexi is our appointee. I believe you're interested in continuing that. All right. Nomination. We have a motion by Ms. Gibson. Any other nominees? We'll close the nominations. All in favor of Mr. Lexi continue that position, say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Congratulations, Mr. Lexi. Now, the Greenwood Fire Merit Board, as we pointed out in the past, there have only been 3 members. We eliminated the old merit board. So technically, this is a new merit board, and we need to appoint 2 members to it. This new merit board has 5 members. The old merit board had 3. And under the old merit board, we had 1, the mayor had 1, and the fire department had 1. Under the new merit board, there are 5. We have 2, fire department has 2 membership, and then the mayor has 1. And by law, one of our appointees the 2 appointees need to be of different political parties. The one does not have to be a Republican, and one does not have to be a Democrat. They have to be different political parties. Our current appointee is Bill Welch, and I've spoken with him, and he is interested in continuing in that position, and he is a Republican. And because it's a new board, and all these are technically new appointees, we're not really reappointing him. He's a new appointee if we appoint him. We need to stagger the terms so that one of these appointees has a 4-year term and the other appointee has a 2-year term. And it was my suggestion that if we reappoint Mr. Welch, that we reappoint him, or we appoint him, and we appoint him for a 4-year term. And then if we find a Democrat, an independent, or libertarian, or Greenpeace, or some other political party, that an individual that we can appoint, then they would be for a 2-year term. Right now, we've had a couple names suggested, but nobody at this point has agreed to serve. And I have spoken with the fire chief to see if there was anybody that he suggested, but he has not yet. So right now, the only nominee or potential nominee we have is Bill Welch. And so,
I'll nominate him.
all right, so Mr. Bates nominates Bill Welch. The fire department, the chief, thinks he does a good job, and he's very willing to continue to do
4-year term.
4-year term. So we have Mr. Welch nominated for a 4-year term that would begin immediately. And any other nominees?
I'll try to find somebody who's trying to fire.
Yeah, you know, we'll say that discussion or when mics are on. All right, so all in favor of Mr. Welch being our nominee to the Greenwood Fire Merit Board for a 4-year term, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, Mr. Welch is our nominee for a 4-year term. We will take this up at the next meeting where we have a potential nominee for the other spot. So if you know of anybody, if they're willing, you know, let us know. We'll, you know, they don't have to be a Democrat, they can be a Libertarian or an Independent. So. Yeah. All right. Next is the Greenwood Social Board of Directors. Ms. Gibson is our appointee to that. She's interested in continuing, so if I want to nominate.
I'll nominate.
All right. We have Mr. Dine nominates Ms. Gibson. Any other nominees? We'll close the nominations. All in favor of Ms. Gibson, continue that position, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, Ms. Gibson. And then the Greenwood Community Development Corporation, Mr. Paul St. Pierre has been our nominee since we created this GCDC. I spoke with him and he is very interested in continuing that position. That would be my recommendation.
I'll nominate him.
Mr. Bates nominates Mr. St. Pierre. And any other nominees? Yes.
Is that 1 year, 2 years?
It's a 1 year. We do this every year. All right, we will close the nominations. All in favor of Mr. St. Pierre, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? I'll let Mr. St. Pierre know he has. Next position is the selection of officers for the next year. These are all 1-year terms. And we'll start with the office of the president. We'll open it up for nomination.
President, I'll nominate Mike Campbell.
All right.
Second.
All right. We have a motion by Mr. Bates, second by Mr. Dine to nominate Mike Campbell as president. Any other nominations? All right. All right. We'll close the nominations. Voice vote. All in favor of Mike Campbell continuing as council president, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Thank you. Let me say, will you? No. No. I don't think.
Williams Campbell.
Okay. Let me say that I really do consider it an honor, and I appreciate it. Y'all allow me to do this. I enjoy it, and hopefully you run the meetings well. So, all right. The next nomination is for vice president.
Mr. President, I nominate Mike Williams.
Okay, well, Mr. Dine nominates Ms. Gibson. Mr. Bates nominates Mr. Williams. All right. Any other nominations for vice president? All right, we'll close the nominations, and since we have 2, we will do a roll call vote, which is what we typically do. And if when your name is called, simply say the name of the person that you would like to see as vice president, either Mr. Williams or Ms. Gibson. All right, roll call on vice president.
Lexi,
Gibson.
Hamilton,
Williams.
Williams,
Williams.
Bates,
Williams.
Campbell,
Gibson.
Dine,
Gibson.
Gibson,
Gibson.
Hill, Hopper,
Ms. Gibson.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Gibson.
All right, Ms. Gibson then has 5 votes, Mr. Williams 4. Did I count those correctly?
Yes.
All right, so Ms. Gibson will continue as council vice president. All right, other miscellaneous business, corporation council,
We have none, Mr. President.
controller,
Nothing.
mayor.
I have nothing, sir. Thank you.
All right, everyone, yes.
did the walk-on ordinance make it around?
Do we have the walk-on ordinance available that we could sign tonight?
I'll make Shauna knows, because I wasn't aware of it.
I can print one out on ordinance paper. It was sent over on SharePoint, so I thought maybe you printed it out, but I can kick one out for you and bring it down.
All right, you can do that.
I'm printing it right now. I'll bring it down for you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, councilors. We are dismissed. Adjourned.
You are.